Good Tuesday evening to you. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you so much for joining us. The CDC and the FDA recently approved the administering of Pfizer and Moderna's COVID-19 vaccines to children under the age of 5. Our Alyssa Williams talked with infectious disease specialists and child care experts to learn more about the impact this rollout could have on the state of the virus.
18 months following the initial distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine for adults, children of all ages are now eligible to get vaccinated.
This is great news, actually, and we've been waiting for this for a long time.
The CDC and the FDA have both approved the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, with the Pfizer vaccine offering 3 doses, while Moderna offers 2.
Any level of protection that we can give our children is always a good thing. And we're just very excited that this is now an option and available for our children and families.
Assistant Director of LKLP Head Start and Hazard, Justin Collett, says COVID has prevented several families from enrolling their kids in early Head Start and Head Start, so he hopes vaccine eligibility can change that.
We just hope that now that more measures are in place to protect our children, that more families will send their children to Head Start and early Head Start, because early childhood education is just so important.
Infectious disease specialist Dr. Ferris Cotter says he believes this announcement can push us toward potential herd immunity.
If we vaccinate all the adults and we leave the children unvaccinated, the children are still a reservoir for the virus to infect adults. So in order to reach herd immunity and reach a certain level of immunity in the population, you have to vaccinate everybody, including the children.
Hoping to create a happier and healthier society, one vaccine at a time. Alyssa Williams, WYMT, Mountain News.
Dr. Cotter says that you will find similar side effects in the children's vaccine as the one for adults, including fatigue, headache, and redness and swelling of the injection site. He adds that you should always consult your child's primary care physician or pediatrician to learn which vaccine is best suited for them. Well, a major milestone in the construction of Baptist Health Hamburg over in Lexington. Hospital leaders held a topping off ceremony this morning at the new site on Polo Club Boulevard. You can see the crews placing the steel beam at the highest point of the facility. They broke ground on the new outpatient surgery and medical campus 7 months ago. Well, the goal is to provide more services to those who live in surrounding counties. About 60% of Baptist Health's Lexington patients come from outside of Fayette County.
Although today we're officially topping off a building, there's really no limit to the amount of good that will happen here at this new Baptist campus.
Phase 1 of the Baptist Health Hamburg is scheduled to be completed in spring of 2024. UK Healthcare is also working to build a medical campus in Hamburg. Well, it entered into agreement to purchase the land where the Meadowcrest Mansion used to stand on the corner of Winchester Road along I-75. Well, officials made the announcement Friday. UK Healthcare says the campus will have a medical office building and other clinical facilities. It could have a regional hospital facility. UK officials say Hamburg is fast growing and they're ensuring medical access is conveniently located for patients. House Bill 63 mandates school districts assign a police officer called a school resource officer, or SRO, on every campus in every district across the Commonwealth. When the bill passed in the 2020 General Assembly, it sparked a race within districts to comply with the order by the August 1st deadline. WYMT's Zach Hawk is in the studio with more on the struggles district officials are now trying to overcome those rules.
The district officials I have spoken with face the same major obstacle to complying with HB 63, time. The bill was signed into law by Governor Andy Beshear in April, and since then, districts have considered establishing their own police departments, strengthening existing relationships with local law enforcement, or hiring retired law enforcement officers. In each case, district officials say the time frame is tough to manage. Laurel County School Superintendent Doug Bennett says he believes his district's work in building its own police department will be complete by August 1st. But not every district is as optimistic. For Letcher County School Superintendent Denise Yance, the problem is not will or even funds. It is a lack of candidates in the county.
It takes a special officer to be an SRO, to work in a school building with children of all ages, dealing with what happens on a daily basis in that building, and then to protect them and have that relationship with them. It takes a special person. You can't just pull any officer to be an SRO.
Each district official I have spoken with says they understand the need for the legislation and want to work towards having the safest possible environment so students can focus their attention on their studies. In the studio, Zach Hawk, WYMT Mountain News.
District officials stress that they have access to federal funds for a limited time period that may help design budgets to hire enough people. But even that solution is not long term. Zach will have more when you join us tonight at 11.
Looks pretty good outside today. It is a little on the warm side, I will admit, but it's not too bad of a day because that humidity hasn't returned to the mountains just yet. Outside at the moment, Mountain Parkway at Slade, not a cloud in the sky. Those shadows getting longer. One of the longest days of the year, 14 hours and 47 minutes of sunlight or so as we head out there for tonight. Well, days will start getting shorter and shorter after this on this summer solstice. Low 90s outside right now. Buffalo Mountain in southern Perry County. Plenty of sunshine helping us warm up. Many of us in those low 90s, even some upper 80s. Look off to the north, though. How about Lexington and Louisville sitting at 95? But those feels like temperatures are actually lower than the air temperatures because we're not dealing with the humidity. You can thank high pressure sitting in place for all of the quiet weather we've got, all of those clouds from yesterday well off the East Coast. So keep that WYMT weather app handy. We'll be falling through the 80s and into the 70s this evening before falling into the mid-60s overnight. We're actually looking pretty good as we head into the day tomorrow. But some changes are on the way as we head toward tomorrow night. I'll have those details coming up in just a few minutes. Dakota?
All right, Evan, thank you. Well, we are learning the name of the man who died after a crash between a tractor trailer and a motorcycle. Deputies say 55-year-old Edward Markham died on the scene. The other driver, who was in the truck, John Davis, was uninjured. The incident happened at the intersection of Glenview Road and US 25. In Clay County, a Fedex worker is facing charges after deputies found him passed out in a Fedex truck. Deputies say they received calls about a man passed out in a vehicle. Well, they found 24-year-old Colton Withrow. Well, they were able to wake him up. Well, they say he was under the influence. They also found drugs and drug paraphernalia in the truck. He is facing drug charges and traffic violation. A rescue team helped a woman after her car ran off the road. Take a look. Wolf County Search and Rescue helped a 52-year-old woman yesterday. Well, they say she went off the road and down a 50-foot embankment on Bethesda Mission Road. Several crews helped get her to safety. She did have some injuries, and her condition right now is not known. If you are out on the interstate this week and notice a few more Kentucky State Troopers out than usual, well, there is a reason for that. Tuesday through Thursday, troopers will be monitoring interstates as part of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration's Safe Drive Initiative, targeting unsafe driving behaviors. KSP Sergeant Jason Morris says this initiative is especially important to make sure drivers are operating safely around larger vehicles.
These trucks, they can't slow as abruptly as what a passenger car, or they can't even maneuver as quickly as what passenger cars can. And what we like to tell people is if you're following a commercial truck in his mirrors, if you can't see that driver in the mirror, he can't see you.
Although this initiative only happens for a short time this month, well, they hope to see it happen more often in the future. Pikeville Elementary School is hosting the 13th year of the Camp Invention this weekend, inviting kids out to learn, have fun, and create and invent. Our Jordan Mullins has more.
Kids in the Pikeville area are getting a chance to become inventors for a week at Pikeville Elementary School.
They get to come here and they get to work collaboratively with one another, and they have a very creative experience.
Camp Invention is a summer learning opportunity for kids in kindergarten through 6th grade to be introduced to STEM fields: science, technology, engineering, and math.
These kids are ready to get out this summer and learn to do some engineering and science, and just the enthusiasm of the kids is just so heartwarming and exciting.
Preparing students for the future.
They are learning just the basic steps of the engineering process, what it means to invent something, what it means to think like a scientist, and hopefully we are laying the groundwork and planting seeds for them to be successful when they grow up in the world that they'll live in.
While also having plenty of fun.
Yesterday when we were all leaving, they were like, I can't wait to come back tomorrow. And that's what we want our camp to be. We want it to be something that everyone looks forward to coming to and enjoying, whether you're a camper or you're helping out with it. We want it to be a fun and exciting experience for everyone.
Building the next generation of scientists, engineers, and inventors. In Pikeville, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, Stevens also said this was the most kids they've ever had at a camp, Invention, at 106, and the camp seems to grow every year. The Kentucky Humane Society launched its new mobile veterinarian clinic today. It will travel throughout the state to bring low-cost pet care and spay-neuter surgeries directly to communities that don't have access to affordable vet care. The mobile clinic will include vaccines, heartworm tests, microchips, and flea tick preventatives. It will expand its services to spay-neuter surgeries later this year. We are told today's appointments are full, but availability can be checked at kyhumane.org.
Well, it's going to feel like summer this week. I've got the latest on how high the mercury could rise coming up. But first,
and we introduce you to one Pikeville boy who is bringing community members together and inspiring a whole town. Stay with us.